Hello YouTube, it's Kurosama, and here I have from Robot Spirits the Pacific Rim Uprising Gypsy Avenger. This is actually which I'm guessing, I haven't seen the new movie yet, but I'm pretty sure that this is the successor to the Gypsy Danger from the previous Pacific Rim movie. This is my first time ever seeing a Robot Spirits kit sold in a American or at least in the United States. American retail store. I bought this over in Toys R Us. I was very surprised to see it. I seen that Type V3 he did a toy talk and he actually mentioned that he bought this over at Toys R Us, and I was like, whoa. I was like, I just so happened that next day I was actually en route. I was going past Toys R Us, so I was like, hey, let me go ahead and stop and check it out, and sure enough, it's being sold there for 20 bucks. And I was like, well, they had this one and the other two, which I can't remember their names, but the other two were being sold there. However, I don't really care for their aesthetics. I actually most prefer the Gypsy Avenger. But who knows, maybe down the line I'll go ahead and pick those up in the future. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the box. So just looking at the front, you can see, I think this, compared to all the other Robot Spirits boxes, I think it just looks a little bit cheaper than what we are normally used to. So this is something that's just a little bit, odd. I don't know. It just looks kind of weird, mainly with this like flap right up here in the top. But I don't know. I guess this looks fine. It just looks so weird and different. But it's fine for what it is. And then on the side right here, you can just see it's a little, I don't know if it's a to scale picture of the Gypsy Avenger, but you got that on the side. I guess it's number 228 in the Robot Spirits line. And looking on the back, you just see some information about it. Just kind of like has what kind of accessories and everything. Shows you it has that little plasma, I guess, like arm thing. I don't know exactly what it's called, but looks pretty cool. Has some nice little posability as I can see. So definitely intrigued to see what the articulation is going to be like. And then there's really nothing except for the name on the other side. Okay, so here's all the accessories that it comes with. There's nothing else in the box outside of the obvious instructions right here. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the details of the main body. Then we'll look at articulation, and then we'll start, kind of messing with the accessories. Okay, so taking a look at the head, the details look really great. I really do love the kind of like eye visor. Looks pretty cool. I don't really see any kind of issues with it. Looks has some good detail, so I don't really have anything against that. Now looking at the body, the torso, waist, and everything, I think it looks really good for what you get. I mean, I gotta remind y'all, this was $20. This is probably the most detailed figurine for a retail price of $20 I've ever seen. I love everything about it. This, like, the nuclear reactor, which I'm pretty sure it still is the nuclear reactor, but that looks really, really good. Oh god, I'm kind of like a lost for words. But the abs, or I guess the abdominal area, that looks really good. A lot of good detailing in there, and they even have some nice little, like, I don't know what that's supposed to say. Now, I don't know what this is supposed to say, but it's GN006. If someone can actually help me out in the comments, I'm pretty sure it's actually in the instructions somewhere, or maybe on the box. But I guess it's maybe the 6th in the line of the Gypsies or something like that. So I think that's pretty cool. Got some nice little decals on there as well. So for the arm is extremely detailed. It has a nice little decal on the shoulder. The arm looks really awesome. I love the it's kind of like a silver, almost tan joints that it has. I think it looks pretty cool. I definitely, whenever we're going into the articulation, you'll be able to look at it a little bit more. But man, I like that silver kind of almost chrome looking. I think it looks fantastic. Now looking at the legs look fine. The feet look awesome. This is actually giving me a little bit more hype for the movie. I mean, I'm just seeing like the aesthetics of it looks a lot more slim and kind of a little more angular than the previous Gypsy. So that's something I'm really looking forward to when I actually see this movie come later this month. Okay, so looking at articulation, you see the head is on a little ball joint right inside there. So gets to move all around, up and down. Pretty good swivel overall. The body doesn't really have too much of a joint right inside there. I mean, it kind of can go side to side, a little bit up and down, but not really too much. And these little parts, they don't really seem to move on their own. So kind of a little disappointment. I wish these would actually move on an individual level, but they do not. Alright, looking at the shoulders they come up a little bit, not really too much. They feel like a little weak plastic. I mean, to be honest, the whole kit or the whole figure feels fairly weaker in quality than a normal Robot Spirits, but that's not really like too bad of a thing, just considering the amount that it actually costs. And then looking at the bicep, definitely okay, there we go, full 360 turn right there at the upper bicep. And then there's 2 points of articulation right here in the elbow. And then the hand actually is on a little kind of ball joint right there and can swivel and move all around. Now for the legs have a pretty weird little mechanic right here. This little part can actually come out like there. It's pretty weird. I don't really see why, unless it's just for better movement or articulation. But it is on a little dual ball joint right inside there, so it has a pretty good range of movement all around. And then for the knee, definitely two more points of articulation right there, and it can definitely bend pretty good amount. And then the ankle is on a little pivot, ball joint right there. And on the back, you get these wing parts. I don't really know the significance of it, since I don't really see anything from the trailers. If they do open up and if it makes wings, that would be pretty awesome. But I have a feeling that they may only end up as being flashlights, kind of like how the Gypsy Danger had its flashlights on the pretty much mounted on the shoulders and back. So if it is, it is. If it isn't, hey, it's kind of a cool little accessory. Doesn't really make too much of a difference in my opinion. Now you do also get these open hands. I mean, they look pretty cool. I don't really see much of a usage for them. They just kind of like position pretty weird. They don't really go down like too far unless you're going to be popping it right out of that little socket, but they pretty much just have an elevated kind of look to it. So I guess it's pretty cool, but I'm probably going to be keeping the solid fist on. Now the next little accessory that it has is actually this nice little chain sword. It's pretty much the same thing as from the first movie, and I think it looks fantastic. The details look amazing, and I'm pretty much going to really enjoy having it displayed with this little accessory on it. And here we have the gravity sling. Pretty much the same weapon as the Gypsy Danger. I guess if it's not broken, then you don't really need to fix it, but it looks pretty cool. I like the details with it. That little silver paint right there, as well as kind of like that clear, it's like clear bluish. I'm not really too sure exactly what, it's like a light blue, but it looks pretty cool. Kind of like a little, I guess, energy. I don't know what that would be classified as, but it kind of just comes out. And it's like a weird way that it attaches to the actual hand when it transforms, but overall it looks pretty cool. All it is the forearm is completely swapped out for the other forearm, and you don't even use the hand when it comes to this. But overall it looks pretty cool. It's just a little bit tricky to get it in any kind of like really nice poses, because these shoulders really do get in the way, unfortunately. Now it doesn't really have any kind of issues, standing up on its own. However, if you do have a little bit of a trouble, you can use any kind of action base that are primarily used for Figmas. It just attaches right there in the back, and it can stand up with the uses of an action base. And it looks pretty cool. Maybe put in some aerial poses or maybe some dashing poses if you really want to. Okay, so what are my final thoughts on this kit? Well, it's not but positivity, except the shoulders, which I've already addressed that They kind of just pop off a little bit easily. However, it's not really a game changer. They easily pop right back on, and if you just mess around with it, they shouldn't be too much of an issue. The quality in plastic just feels a little bit cheaper, but I mean, for $20, you really are be getting a lot of quality plastic for the price tag. So the posability is really good. Some limitations up there in the arms, a little bit of limitations right there in the legs, but they can really just do its job. You know, it does some decent little dynamic poses, and does some little it can stand up appropriately. It won't really fall off, and it comes with a hefty amount of accessories, such as the gravity sling, as well as the chain sword. So overall, I think this this figure is really amazing and completely worth your buck. So if you have the available funds and you have the resources, go ahead and purchase this, and maybe go buy the other ones. I'm probably still not going to be buying those, but if I see them at a decent price, even a little bit less than $20, I may go ahead and bypass the aesthetics of them and just go ahead and pick them up. But other than that, guys, that's it. Definitely thanks for watching. Definitely rate, comment, subscribe if you love these kind of toy reviews, or if you like to see any other type of reviews. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely try and push out some more type of content outside of just Gunpla. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Definitely stay tuned for the next review, which is probably coming in the next couple of days. So I'll see y'all later, and take care. Bye.
Are you looking? What the fuck are you looking at, asshole?